Hey, what's going on, everybody? This your man Mario. I would like to welcome you into another episode of the Random Select Podcast. Hey, yo, it's been a while, but I'm back here. I'm back in it, and we ready to do this particular episode. Don't forget, Random Select is out there in all those social media places. Y'all know where it is: Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, YouTube. All those places. So just look for us out there. Don't forget, we on that tickety talk. You know, that's what us old people call that damn old that old tickety talk, tit talk. You know what y'all call that shit. You know that thing like the clock, tick tock. Yeah, you know. But I'm out here in these streets. So let's get into what I came to talk about today, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to the podcast. I can't say that enough. I thank you guys for your support. It really helps. It really makes a difference sometimes when, you know, you feel like you don't have anything to talk about, or you finding it difficult to create some content. Then when somebody leave a comment, or somebody, just say, hey, look, I can relate to that story, then it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you want to keep going. You know what I mean? But today I just want to talk about, I want to get in and get out. I want to talk about something really quick. I want to talk about, it seems to be this real disconnect between men and women these days. You know what I mean? The type of disconnect where you got one group of people saying it's the men's fault. You got another group of people that's saying it's the women's fault. And I kind of want to give you my opinion on it. I kind of want to weigh in on it and tell you that I don't think it's men or women fault. I think it's a human thing. I think it's just the individual person, because as I get older, I realize that everybody like doing what they like to do, regardless of what society say, regardless of the herd mentality. Yeah, the herd mentality is a real thing where you tend to follow what the trend is. You tend to follow what the norm is. Yeah, you're going to always have that, right? And that's just, some people are built that way. Then you got those people that follow their own path, you know, or their own person, going to do their own thing, right? But to a person, especially as the older you get, you become a little bit more rigid, you know, inside in your ways, and regardless of what the popular consensus is, what the popular opinion is, or what way some other people are moving, you tend to want to do things your way. So when we get older, we say that we want to find somebody who
that I just want to love, but I just want somebody for me, that I want to spend some time with, somebody who's going to love me for me.
And all of that, right? That's all that surface stuff that we've all been taught, right? That's all that stuff that in the fairy tales and Disney, and, you know, the Little Mermaid and the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and all that stuff, all these wonderful love stories, right? And sometimes we all, and including the men too, we all get caught up in the fantasy, but we don't understand the realism of how it all plays out. The fantasy is wonderful. The fantasy is, well, you got billions of people on this planet, and some people will see one or two people give you an example of they're happy. They've been married for 35 years. Out of billions of people in the world, you give me 5 examples. So do you think on average, or the norm, far as ratios and numbers go, just a logical thinking person, 5 people out of a billion people is the norm? So the problem with all of that is that fantasy is fantasy. And sometimes we have to balance that out. It's okay to want to have an idea of what you think things should be, but you also got to have not an idea, but an understanding of what realism is and how things really are. It's okay if you the woman and you want the knight in the shining armor to come through and pay all your bills and treat you like a woman and take you on all these trips, have you in the latest designer brands and all of that. But the reality of it is, chances are, high chances that that's not probably going to happen. Chances are you're going to end up with a decent man who's going to come in and do his part, pay the bills, pay his share of the bills, and try his best to do right by you. But as we like to say with everything, there are anomalies and X factors to everything. Yes, there's a certain level of man that's going to cheat no matter what. So we all understand that. And by the same token, we need to understand there's a certain type of woman who's going to cheat too. So we got to understand that that's not exclusively or mutually a man's thing. That is a human being thing. That is a people thing. That is a person thing. That's an individual by individual basis thing. You can't paint with such a broad brush that you think every man is a cheater. You can't paint with a broad brush thinking that every woman is a hoe or a bitch, because clearly that's not the case. And as I say all the time, and I'm a little jaded because I judge it from the woman's standpoint. There's not a woman out there that doesn't think she is a good woman. Every woman think that they're a good woman, but just logical common sense as a man tells you that can't be true. Not every woman is a good woman, just like not every man is a good man. Not every man is going to cheat. Not every woman is going to cheat. But most women will not just own up to things, or will not admit that they are at fault, will not accept accountability for the things they do, because they are so used to blaming men, so used to putting it off on the men, that they feel when they do it, they never actually, they'll go through the things, the actions of to say that they did wrong, but a lot of them will not actually say it out their mouth. You understand what I'm saying? It's a difference between saying, baby, I'm sorry, or baby, this is my fault, or baby, that's all on me. They'll do all the things like make you breakfast or fix you a sandwich and try to make sure everything is right with you. They actually just say that they sorry and that they wrong. But they've been taught that as the woman, they are the better half. And I'm trying to tell y'all that as I get older, I realize some women are better halves. Most women are your equal half. And I don't look at things as the old ball and chain anymore, because if you let the woman feel like she's an albatross around your neck, then as a grown man, then that's on you, right? But the problem I got with a lot of this is that in today's world, a lot of women will say that they want a traditional man the way your grandfather used to be, the way your grandfather used to treat your grandmama, right? But they don't account for what is going on in the actual world. They don't account for what the inflation. They don't count what the trend is going on in our society. If you got that type of man that tells you could stay at home and you don't have to work and he's going to take care of all the bills, at very best, y'all going to have an average mundane life, because there's only so few people out here who's making enough money to cover everything and for your life to still be comfortable. We need all hands on deck these days, right? It's okay for you to say, I want to be the traditional man, where I'll make sure if I can, if it's within my power to take care of the woman and make sure she be okay. But you can't keep saying that you want things to be traditional. You want the men to stay traditional, but at the same time, with the Me Too movement, the women liberal rights and all of that stuff, y'all get to progress. Y'all get to go be self-sufficient, independent. What y'all want to be able to do is make y'all money, keep y'all money, but spend his money. It can't work both ways. You can't say I want a traditional man, I want him to stay stagnant and do the old value ways, but I want to progress and become this new moderate liberal, but you can't have it both ways. And truth be told, I don't want a woman that don't want to pull in all directions with me, that don't want to pull in the same direction with me. As I get older and I truly understand how things work, I don't want a woman who's sitting there looking at me as the leech. I don't want the type of woman that sits back and watch you work yourself into the ground, and when you die, she collect your insurance. She's the beneficiary if she go on with the next dude and watch him work himself into the ground and die. I want the type of woman that wants to roll up her sleeve and wants to work with me, right? And then another thing I got, and I'll get back to that too, but another thing I got as far as the women go, y'all will say things like, men are visual creatures and y'all are mental creatures, right? Say that y'all do a lot of analyzing and thinking and stuff like that, right? And y'all just totally throw us over there in the visual pile. If we are visual, and that's what y'all truly believe in y'all heart, that's what y'all truly believe in y'all mind and y'all soul and y'all hearts of hearts, that we are visual, why so many of you all let yourself go if we are that way, right? If If y'all say that we are visual creatures, why do so many women let themselves go? They get to a certain age, they feel like they don't have to work out anymore. They get to a certain age where they feel like I don't have to watch what I eat. They get to a certain age where, diabetes, and they have hypertension, and they do all of this. And then we are expected to love women unconditionally no matter what. But yet and still, y'all say that men are visual, but you let yourself go. So that's an oxymoron. And then once you guys get to a certain point, you'll say that the man is going to take me for me no matter what. Women walk around with that notion, saying that the man is going to have to love me no matter what. A lot of women, not all women, but a lot of women are not willing to back off that list that they have, where they just roll it out like some type of Bugs Bunny cartoon, like a Long King scroll. They roll it out and they say I'm not willing to come up for this. These are my non-negotiables and I will not budge no matter what. Y'all women will say things like that, right? But here's the thing, and if we're being completely honest, even the men have to be completely honest with themselves. The older you get, some of the demands on that list have to kind of fall off, because you are no longer 25 where you could command a certain thing. Because when you were 25 and you was pretty and you was cute and you were fine and your body was all in proportion and right, there were certain things that you could command because your body and your face said that you could. And some of y'all still had some fucked up attitudes when y'all were 25, but your body and your face said that you could ask for this, right? So at the very least, you could ask for a man who was handsome and he had a nice body because you was pretty and you had a nice body. Okay, now you fast forward that to y'all late 40s and early 50s and beyond. You still walking around like you're 25 making those demands, when a lot of y'all clearly have let y'allself go to the point where people are with you because it's your personality and because y'all have coochie. Other than that, it's nothing about your body, your physical, visual being that you say men are visual, that turns a man on, or that gets him to the point where he really want to do something for you. Because when you're young, you say, ooh, look at Shawty, she got that ass on her. Ooh, look at Shawty, she got them breasts on her. When you get to your early 50s and you start getting to a certain point, you don't even look at women like that no more, because at that particular point, the only thing that she got worthwhile, if we are visual, and all this is hypothetical, please don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling y'all what it is, how it is, what it gonna be, what it is being, what it should be, right? So please don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling y'all that once you hit 50 and y'all say that we are visual, and then y'all have nothing for us to visually look at, I'm sorry, what's your bargaining point? What's the chips that you got? What chips are you pushing to the middle of the table? Because at this particular point, it's easy for that man to say, I ain't got to deal with this. You think I'm going to have to deal with this attitude? And then at this particular point, she built like a Mack truck or a bleach bottle. I ain't got to deal with this. I could go just take this little whatever I got, I was going to blow on you, taking you somewhere to the casino to let you fucking gamble, and give it to little shorty right here who still got all her faculties, all her things that God gave her to be a young girl, and I can just spend it on her, going and drill her, bust out, and going on about my business. And I'm telling y'all this is all hypothetical, and I know y'all say some men don't want that, some men still want sophisticated and classy women. Here's the point. A lot of y'all think because you get older, you become sophisticated and classy, but you don't. Some of y'all just become old, ornery, and stuck in your ways and refuse to change. Y'all keep love to say what you is and you ain't gonna do, right? There are certain things that if you into a person and you in with your man, that should not be off the table unless it's just, somewhere way to the left or way to the right. So let me get this straight. So visually, y'all say that we are visual creatures. So visually, you kind of done let yourself go. And then, okay, now you done become rigid and stuck in your ways. Now you don't want to do this. Okay, you don't want to do that. So now you saying that, you're not going to do this. A man got to come in and take care of this and take care of that. And so you willing not to do that. So if you're visually not nothing to look at, you're stuck in your ways and got a kind of a bitter disposition and a nasty attitude, and then you're saying that I gotta come in and I gotta pay for all of this, pay for your lifestyle. I'm sorry, what is my incentive to want to be with you? That's what you got to ask yourself. With all that going against you guys, what is my incentive to want to be with you? Because at that point, you are a poor salesman. You are selling me nothing. You are the type of salesman where I could just turn around and say, not interested, player. Not today. I'm good. I don't need that. So that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all women, sometimes they talk the good talk. As I like to call them, they are light talkers and dark doers. They'll talk all that good shit in the light, but in the dark, they'll do that unscrupulous stuff that they claim that they don't do, but they do, because at the end of the day, you know somewhere deep down in your heart, the things that you're holding on to, that stupid ass list that y'all say y'all refuse to budge off of, a lot of y'all do budge off of it. You just don't let your friends know you do, right? Because a lot of y'all say, I'm not just going to be casually sleeping with no man. Who do he think I am? He thinks I'm some type of whore. I'm not a whore, and that's one of the most messed up philosophies in the world. That doesn't make you a whore. Sometimes you just don't want to deal with people. Sometimes it simply boils down to this. I need him to come through because he is very good at what he do when he come through and he tax this thing. And that's all I need him to do to tax the thing. Then he can go on about his business and I'll call him again when I need him. Because the older you get, when you become rigid, like those some of these women become, they lie to themselves. You don't really want a man. You just want a companion. You just want a buddy to sit around and watch TV with. Other than that, and then you want him for the physical part whenever so often when you want him. And that's okay. Be honest about that. Be honest about how you see things. Be honest about what you really need and stop trying to force relationships on everybody and everything that you come into contact with. Because a lot of y'all are forcing these situations, forcing these relationships because y'all feel this is y'all one last chance at love. So you feel like I'm going to go into this hook, line, and sinker. And then when it don't go your way because you are who you are, you be totally crushed, and you figure and you say to yourself, why didn't it work? It hasn't worked the same way. All the past 12 didn't work, and it has not worked the same way. Listen, sometimes the truth of the matter is nothing is wrong with that person. Nothing is wrong with the situation. Sometimes you got to look in the mirror and just be honest with yourself and just admit sometimes it's us. That's a hard pill to swallow. And I know that even as men, sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow. Sometimes because we think we come in and even with the money and the cars being all flashy, think we Casanova. But sometimes, as they like to say, she's just not into you. Sometimes it's us. Sometimes it's nothing you did wrong. Sometimes it's nothing they did wrong. Sometimes it's just a matter of chemistry. Sometimes it's just a matter of vibing. Sometimes it's just a matter of timing. Sometimes intentions are good, but timing is wrong. And sometimes timing is good and intentions are wrong. As I say a lot, vibes is a very important thing, but vibe can only sustain moments. Vibes can't sustain a relationship. As you get to the point where y'all feel like y'all vibe and it's a vibe, then at some point the realization gonna come in that after the vibe, what do we have? After the vibe has created this hell of a moment that we both feeling it, what do we have? Because doing the vibe, sometimes you tend to don't realize some of the things that comes with that person. And not even the fact that you don't realize some of the, we're doing the vibe, it's just that you're not even focused on or paying attention to some of the things that may come with that person. But as time go on and y'all start to spend more time, you start to have more conversations, you realize what type of person this person really is. And slowly but for surely, the vibe goes down and the realism go up. And as that happens, you just hope the vibe and the realism can be on the same level. If there's more vibe than realism, vibes die. Is there more realism than vibes, there's a chance for the relationship to survive. Because at the end of the day, vibes is for good times, good moments. Realism is what sustains relationships. If you could deal with the realism, then y'all relationship will last. If you only got vibes and no realism, at some point vibes gonna fade because you gonna get tired of his shit, he gonna get tired of your shit, and somebody else gonna come with a bigger, better story, fancier good times, and you're feeling that vibe, and as they say, on to the next one. So this is not just a man's problem. I mean, a woman's problem. Men go through this too. And Lord knows some of us men, we can't be right. But I'm going to deal with the men in a whole nother podcast. This right here is just dealing with it from the women's standpoint. All I'm saying is sometimes the things that you say, you know, you have to stand on it and mean it. A lot of things that women say is things that's been taught to them, put to them, and they just regurgitate it from they heard their mamas and they aunties and their grandmamas say things. But at the end of the day, those are things that in their hearts of heart, they really don't believe. Because they walk around truly, really believing that they are our better halves. And as I get older, I'm willing to hit the bullshit button on that. I don't need you to be my better half. I need you to be my equal half. I don't want to come in and take care of your lifestyle. Because at the end of the day, if I don't do all of that stuff, you're telling me that you don't respect me. So in a roundabout way, if I don't pay for your lifestyle, pay for everything in your life, then there's no respect for me. So what you're basically telling me, I'm paying for your respect. And if I got to pay for your respect, then it ain't respect. And if I got to pay for your respect, then I don't fucking want your respect. I need someone that's on even keel with me. I need someone who's even keel as far as thinking the way I think and moving the way I move. We don't always have to have financial gains and all of that. But as long as we know that once we got a plan, once we get the financial gain, we know what we're going to do. Once you say, baby, you know what? I got your back. And the same thing, she come to me with a plan. I say, baby, I got your back. I need someone that sometimes if I'm down, willing to push that cart too. I don't want someone constantly standing off to the side watching me push the cart. And then when I wear out, we can't do anything because one, you ain't willing to push the cart. Two, you've been told that your whole life you should never push the cart. And three, even if all of that happened, let's say you wanted to push the cart and society has told you and your friends should told you, girl, you shouldn't push that cart. So now, even if you wanted to push the cart, you're worried about how it would look if somebody you know walked by and saw you pushing the cart. Somebody might judge you for pushing the cart and say, why he's not pushing the cart? You know why I ain't fucking pushing the cart? Because I'm damn near dead. I'm in the cart, damn near dead from pushing the cart the whole time up the hill by myself without any help. And if that's the case, and like I said, if I got to pay for the respect, then I don't want it. You feel me? If I have to pay for the respect, then I don't want it. You can just stay where you at. And a lot of women going to take this the wrong way. A lot of women going to feel some type of way saying that, oh, you're not being a man. But are you being a woman if you want a man who just, you want to see him work himself into the ground? And here's the problem. A lot of y'all be expecting men who can't possibly take care of you to take care of you. Then you'll say he old bum ass, broke ass nigga, a broke ass dude because he can't take care of you. Because it boils down to this. A lot of women are lazy, ain't got that get up and go in them hustle. And they sit around and they literally wait for some dude to come through and take over all of that stuff for them. We don't have that luxury to wait for. I mean, some dudes do, but most of us don't have that luxury. Most of us got to come in and then fix whatever's going on with your life. How about this? They always talking about what people bring to the table. How about you fix whatever the fuck is going on in your life? That way, when I meet you, you be ready. And I'll do the same thing about my life. I'll fix whatever the hell is going on in my life. That way, when I meet you, provided that I want to be with you, we'll be ready for each other. Because unequivocally, for the record, I am not paying for your whole lifestyle. You do that yourself. I will love you and we will work to build a life together. But I will not work myself into the grave or work myself to the bone for you to sit around and have a fucking Coach bag or have red bottoms or for you to be taking all these trips. So at the end of the day, like they said, like a lot of these Facebooks and social media posts say, if she ain't for me, I will return her ass back to the streets. That's going to do it for your boy Mario. I'm going to just leave it right there. And the next one, I'll come in and I'll get on the men and I'll talk about, We got some issues we need to clean up as men. So don't shoot the messenger, ladies. I'm just telling you, sometimes y'all send out mixed signals. If y'all saying we visual, then give me something to be visual about. All right? So with that being said, thank y'all for hanging out with your boy Mario. It is the Random Select Podcast. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk, baby. Until the next time, baby, we are out.
Mario!
Glad you could make it! You can clap now.